Welcome to MedTech Talk, where we explore the latest innovations in medical technology. We discover the cutting edge of today's healthcare and the innovations shaping tomorrow. Joining us today is Dr. Abhay Chopada, a distinguished colorectal surgeon and an influential thought leader in the fields of health and artificial intelligence. Welcome, Dr. Abhay.
Thank you. Thank you, Meenal, for inviting me.
Yes. So today we are going to engage in an interesting conversation on corporate health and AxonCare's involvement in that sector.
Thank you so much. I would love to engage into that conversation.
Great. So the first question I would like to ask you, Doctor, is from a health expert's perspective, how has modern work culture evolved in recent years, and what are the biggest health challenges employees face today?
Thank you. You've really started with a very, very deep question. Work culture has moved quite dramatically over the last 50 years, from physical work to machine driven work to computer driven work. What has happened is the lifestyle at work has become less and less physical and more what I would call chair bound. In addition to that, the work life boundaries have almost disappeared. There was a time when, come 5 o'clock, your shift ended and that's it. You were no longer at work. In today's office, even if you go at 11 o'clock at night, you'll find people working. The third part is a lack of the team spirit has resulted into a sense of isolation. People make very superficial relationships. They have pretty difficult work life balances. They have difficult mental health issues, which they really can't express at the workplace. And all this affects their productivity. Now, you'd be surprised if I told you that India loses about 5 to 7% of its GDP due to illness and issues related to corporate health. So it's a huge, huge problem. So the problem is quite multi-dimensional. It is to do with the way we currently look at people, the way we've actually blurred the work-life boundaries, the way we've not really handled stress the correct way, the way the isolation has crept in. So these are the common areas in corporate health that need attention. In addition to that, there are life issues that also need a lot of support at the workplace. And that typically involves young women who are pregnant, who are still working, but might need extra support while they're working. Or the above 50 plus who are very, very productive but have some chronic diseases which need attention. Now, what we've noticed is that a lot of these people actually ignore their health purely because, oh, it's just chronic. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. And that classically seems to happen with diseases like heart disease or blood pressure. And these people end up with massive illness because they've ignored their health. So those are also areas where we have to start making care available at the workplace. You have to integrate work and health together.
That's quite insightful, Doctor. Even I believe that work life balance and how it affects our health is quite a challenge these days. So,
Agree.
the next question, which I would like to ask you, Doctor, is what proactive steps can companies take to promote the wellness of their employees? Do you believe a comprehensive corporate wellness plan is essential for every organization?
Again, a very interesting question. I will say by saying that the first thing you need to do for corporate wellness is actually make them aware of what they need. Today, the culture is as long as you look well and you feel okay, you just carry on till you drop dead one fine day, and that is a service to no one. So when you start talking about proactive strategies for corporate health, it's not just a requirement, it is an absolute it's a commercially essential decision. When I said that 5 to 7% of your productivity is lost purely because you're not focusing on the wellness of your key resources, it's a big challenge. What can we do proactively? That is the gist of your question. So first of all, educate people that health is not a given. You might not have symptoms, but to ensure that you at least monitor your body machine regularly. Would you ever drive your car for 5 years at a stretch without getting it checked at least once in between? And that's just a car, but you do it with your own body. And believe you me, a vast majority of the executives that we see uh, today who present to us with symptoms or sometimes even with very serious conditions like heart disease, they might have missed the boat because had they been seen 5 years earlier, they would have never landed into that situation. It is very common for me to hear, oh, he was well till yesterday and unfortunately had a heart attack last night and is no more. Was that not preventable? So the answer is you have to start proactively monitoring your own health. There are so many things that are now available. You've got wearable devices. You actually can plan your life a lot better. You need to ensure that you take adequate rest and not just continue and work as the sole focus of your life. You need to build small communities where you actually can look after your own mental health and have the work life balance. And when you say corporate, it is actually in the interest of the company and its shareholders to keep its workplace healthy, happy. That's a productive workforce. Every time I have a sick employee, essentially it costs me 3 times what I would have paid him to just cover his job, and that is not done perfectly anyway. So, I can avoid 3 times the cost if I just spend half the money needed for a daily wage of an individual, right? The
That's right.
second
Yeah.
thing is also helps you with the retention of the right talent. So it is
Yes.
not just about trying to improve your bottom line by making people work like slaves. If you understand that human beings are designed in a specific way and they can be motivated in a specific way, they can be offered productivity boosts through proper counseling, rather than negative feedbacks, we're giving them positive feedbacks. All this can be done as a part of a health intervention. I wouldn't call it healthcare because actually the person is well, but you can intervene and make them a lot more productive. So there are 2 or 3 different angles by which we can address corporate health.